down for a meal and conversation. All are invited to the table to hear the message of inspiration and hope from small business owners across the country as we celebrate diversity in culture and cuisine. Welcome to Food COMA, Conversations Over Meals in America, hosted by Cynthia McAllister.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Food COMA, Conversations Over Meals in America, and I'm your host, Cynthia McAllister, and I'm here with a wonderful guest, Diane Haase of Truffle Me. Okay, you guys, I'm telling you, these are so good, you're going to have to order yours. So before we begin talking about her business, we're going to first talk about what she brought, which was the truffles. So Diane, tell us a little bit more about these truffles and why you wanted to share it.
Well, first of all, thank you, Cynthia, for inviting me to Food Coma. And I want you to know that I absolutely love making truffles. It is just such a joy to make something that's so beautiful and tastes so well. And I'm going to share with you the peanut butter truffle that I make because in Ohio, I live just south of Ohio, they're known as the Buckeye State. And the Buckeye tree puts out a nut and it's brown with a tan top on it. And so they make peanut butter truffles where they don't dip the entire truffle. They leave the top of it a light tan so it looks like the nut. Well, since I couldn't make Buckeyes, I decided to dip my entire truffle in chocolate. And so then I made the peanut butter truffle, and it is absolutely delicious. And it's a big hit. It's one of my best sellers. So that's the one I'm going to make for you today.
Yes, and that's going to be a treat. So at the end of our shows, we always either share the recipe or have a demo or share ingredients. So Diane is going to show you how to make it, which is going to be extra special. So you want to make sure to stay tuned for that. So as far as the background about truffles, how did you get into the truffles and what was the inspiration for that?
Well, 11 years ago, our son was going on a trip to Australia with an organization called People to People. And he needed to make a little money, but he really needed to take ownership in his adventure. So at the time, he liked to bake. So he said, let's make cookies and let's learn how to make truffles. I said, sounds good to me. So we had, I think, 4 truffle flavors that we created, and we sold some. He made a little money, took ownership in his trip, and had a fabulous time in Australia. And then he went on to travel Europe, and he's been to South Korea 4 times. So he became the world traveler, and I'm still making truffles.
And I'm going to take a bite into one of my truffles. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So the one I just bit into has the peanut butter in it. It's so heavenly. It's crunchy. You could taste the peanut butter and the chocolate. It is just so delicious. And I love the assortment that you have. You have all kinds of varieties of truffles. So, these are nice and little desserts. So if you want to splurge a little bit, you can. Get a truffle.
That's right. You don't have to get a whole apple pie. You can get apple pie truffles and just have one bite, and you're happy with that then.
Yes, I didn't know apple pie truffles existed. I bet you have cheesecake truffles too.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So now, Diane, you got to tell me. You talked a little bit about your inspiration of your business, but why did you decide that you wanted to go all out and start your business?
Well, about 5 years ago, a friend told me, you need to teach truffle making classes. And after I started doing that, the business really sort of took off. And so then I decided, let's just do it. Let's become a small business owner. Truffle Me was born. And it has been the best thing for me because I have joined all kinds of business groups. And I really learned how to be a small business owner because I was just a mom making truffles up until then. And so I really have developed business techniques and skills and a little bit of savvy that you need when you're a small business owner. So it was a really good thing for me to take that plunge and become a small business owner.
And it was a great thing for everybody else who gets to try some of your truffles. So we highly encourage that, and we'll have all her information during the course of the show. But we're going to come back with a quick commercial, and then we'll see more of Diane. And we're back with more Food Coma, Conversations Over Meals in America. And I'm your host, Cynthia McAllister. And I'm back with Diane Haase from Truffle Me. All right, so Diane, I'd like you to share, what is a testimony you have of overcoming challenges as a small business owner?
Well, COVID hit. That was my really, really big challenge. And I am a follower of Donald Miller, and he was doing a podcast, and he said his sister had a flower shop and she didn't know what she was going to do during COVID because no one could come into her shop and buy flowers. And he said, yeah, but you can send flowers, so you can send love with your flowers. And I thought, oh yes, I can send truffle love. So I really went all out with online ordering, and I did Zoom truffle making classes that were a big hit. And so I just sort of ran with the whole, let's just send things through the mail and just send our friends some love with truffles. And it was very successful for me. I didn't have a really downtime this last year and a half.
Wow, well, that's a blessing that you found a way during all of this chaos and what was happening in the world to make it work for your business. So that's great. That's impressive. Now, we are so excited to have you as a Keyspot business partner and to help support you and share the message of wonderful truffles and the gift that you have for all people. So tell us, how has Keyspot supported your business?
Well, I'm a relatively new member to Keyspot, so I have the app, and I get on there and find what's in my area that I might want to attend or be a part of. You have the networking groups that meet once a month, and I've been a part of that. And I just love networking with other people and getting to know what other people do for a living, what their small business is, and how I might be able to help them and connect them with people that I know in my business. And Keyspot has all kinds of activities that you can look up in your area that you can just be a part of. And a lot of them are free. And that is an amazing thing for a small business owner who doesn't have a big budget for stuff, to attend free events and still network and get to know people and make connections and sell product.
Yes, and we're so happy to have you. So who are two role models you have when it comes to business?
Well, I mentioned Donald Miller earlier, and he has written many books, and he's a very big person in the business world. And I base my website off of his book on building a story brand. And I listen to a lot of his podcasts and a lot of his events that he has, and he's just got great down-to-earth business sense that he puts forward. And the other person is Ivan Meisner, who has developed Business Networking International, a BNI group, and he's got amazing techniques and ideas also for growing and keeping your small business going and thriving, and it's all about networking. So I really have bought into the whole networking aspect of being a small business owner.
Well, the thing is, you're right, Diane. It is all about networking, because one thing that happens when you network, you are actually able to connect with people and help build relationships. And when people trust you, then guess what? They're going to refer people to you. So that's the importance of networking. So we're going to take another quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more of Diane Haase from Truffle Me. And welcome back to Food Coma, Conversations Over Meals in America. And I'm your host, Cynthia McAllister. And this is sponsored by Keyspot by Quality SAP. And we're here with our fantastic guest, Diane Haase of Truffle Me. Now, Diane, what are some words of wisdom you have for others in business?
Well, if you're starting a business, make sure it's a passion. That's really what it's all about. And take a look around. Is anybody doing what you want to do? Are you doing something a little different than what somebody else is doing? And start there. And then I would say there's always free information out there. There are we have SCORE here in our area, which is a free business mentoring program where you can learn how to do a budget, how to set up pricing, how to do the legal aspects behind your business. And all of those things are really important before you jump in with both feet. So get some background, learn about what it means to be a business owner, and then follow your passion. I mean, you just never know where it's going to be. Who thought 11 years ago I'd be a small business owner selling truffles and mailing them all across the United States? That's crazy, but I'm doing it and I'm absolutely loving it.
Yes. So where do you see your business in the future?
Well, I'm a little old, so, I'm not looking to be $1 million company in the end of all of this, but I'm growing and I would just love to be able to hire 1 or 2 people, have a brick and mortar business place where I can sell my truffles and work out of a commercial kitchen that I have, and just really having people understand that truffles aren't just that special thing that you can only have at a party, but you can have them maybe every other night, maybe not every night, with your coffee or with your glass of wine. Who doesn't want chocolate and wine together? To make truffles more special ordinary than just extraordinary. I mean, you can have truffles at any time. You don't have to have a party. I mean, my special party is when someone says, "Oh, I just need them for me." There's no wedding, no birthday, no anniversary, no baby shower. They just want to have truffles to treat themselves. And that's my favorite kind of party to have.
Yes, and these are so delicious. I'm telling you, everybody should order their own box and have that me time. Have it with your coffee. Have it as that little dessert. Get some of these Truffle Me truffles. All right, so we've shared how Keyspot has supported your business. Why would you recommend becoming a Keyspot business partner to others who are in business?
Well, like I said before, it's all about networking when you're a small business owner. And that is really what Keyspot allows you to do. And you can do it in your local area. You can do it all over the country because people come on the networking events that from all over the country. And that's really where most of us would love some extra exposure, to have people out in California want to have truffles. I can mail them to California or to the East Coast or anywhere like that. And you get to meet people, and that's what small business is all about. And that's how you grow your business, by networking, meeting people. And that person might not know somebody who needs truffles, but they have a friend who needs truffles. So, I mean, that's where I see Keyspot is really being my business partner.
Yes, bringing people together, giving you that extra exposure that you wouldn't normally have. That's what we're all about. Now, before we wrap up, we are going to do a wonderful demo. So Diane is going to do a demonstration of how to make truffles. So we're going to go ahead and let you get started, Diane.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to show you that truffles can be extra extraordinary, just depending on how you decorate them. Here is one that you can do for a wedding. It's got gold and white sprinkles on it. Have you ever seen one with a fork in it? That can be the dessert tray at a wedding or an anniversary, and they just pick it up with a fork and they take it off and they eat it. I just did a wedding where the grooms he didn't want a cake, he wanted truffles. So he got his favorite flavor with forks in it. Sort of manly that way, I always thought. You can do oh, would you not like a little ghost or a mummy for help? Oh, he just lost his eyeball. Well, that's a one-eyed mummy. Isn't that good? You can also make them in the shape of Easter eggs and decorate them for Easter. You can do hearts. You can do table placements at a wedding. If Susie needs to sit at table 5, that's where she takes her truffle and she goes and she enjoys them. So truffles can be just done in beautiful, beautiful ways. And they're always, my truffles all have a certain decoration on it. You know, when you get a box of truffles or chocolates, and each chocolate has its own little decoration on the top, so you know which one is which. Well, mine do too. So they come standard, but you want something different on yours, you can have anything you want on yours. You can have sprinkles, you can have whatever colored chocolate you want on it. They are truly custom made for you. So that is pretty darn exciting. So peanut butter truffles are not hard. Truffles in general are not very hard, but there is a technique. So peanut butter truffles has a jar of peanut butter, 2 sticks of butter, and 6 cups of powdered sugar. That's all. That's all you need to make beautiful, decadent peanut butter truffles. Now, I always melt my butter before I put it in the mixer with the peanut butter, because that just makes everything mix better and smoother, and you have no lumps of anything. I'm telling you, truffles cannot have lumps. No lumps allowed in my truffles anyway. So then you beat that all together, and then you add the 6 cups of powdered sugar. And you end up with this beautiful crumbly peanut butter deliciousness. Oh my gosh, it's so hard not to just eat this by the spoonful when I'm making them. So then you're gonna have your chocolate. Now, you can't have just any old chocolate. I'm really sorry. You really have to have very, very good quality chocolate. And my favorite chocolate, my go-to chocolate, is Ghirardelli's chocolate. Because for one thing, it comes in little discs. It's already tempered. You just put it in your pot and you melt it. Now, the really key part to melting chocolate is that it has to be slow. You cannot rush melting your chocolate. The most perfect way to melt chocolate is in a double boiler. I don't have one, have never had one, takes too much time. So I put mine in the microwave. And so my key to the microwave is at 30% power, because you can burn chocolate so fast and then you have to throw it away. No one wants to throw chocolate away. That's just almost sinful or something. I don't know. You cannot throw chocolate away. I happen to use a chocolate pot just because I do this every single day. But you can use just a deep bowl or a 4-cup measuring cup, something that's deep, not flat, because you want to be able to dip your truffles down into the chocolate. And so you have your dough. You're just going to take a spoonful of it. And the peanut butter is really fun because you get to play with it, because you got to squish it all together. Now, of course, if I was doing this for real, I had gloves on, but this is just for us today. So you make a little ball. Now, I like to make mine about this big. I've had great big truffles in the past, and you get about a third of it done, and it's like, oh, I can't eat any more of that. And then what are you going to do with it? So this is a perfect 2-bite truffles. I always say 2 bites, please. My husband just throws the whole thing in his mouth, and I go, not again. You need 2 bites. It's just, you got to savor it and get all the nuances of the textures and the flavors that are going on in your truffle. So then your chocolate is melted, and I like to use an iced teaspoon when I dip my truffles, only because the ball of the spoon is a little bit smaller and it shakes off a little easier, and the handle is long, so it's not getting in the chocolate quite so much, and my hands stay slightly cleaner. Not a lot, but slightly cleaner. So then you just put your truffle in and you cover it up with chocolate. And now this is really the only scientific part of this whole thing. It's called the shaky, and you shake that spoon to get some of the chocolate off. And then I scrape the bottom, and then you literally just shake it onto your tray. That's it. And then you can decorate it with sprinkles. You can put cookies on the top of it. And then if you want to put chocolate coloring on it, you just let it harden, And then you can melt chocolate and drizzle anything you want on the top of that. And there's your truffle. It is just amazing and wonderful. And would you mind say, oh, mine doesn't look very pretty? I'm telling you, once you decorate it, all the imperfections go away and it will be beautiful. And the reason that I shake my truffle off is that otherwise you end up with a big puddle of chocolate underneath it, and then it doesn't look so nice. But could we eat that chocolate under there? No, yeah, we can. But if you want to have something that's really pretty, you want to try and shake that chocolate off and just have not quite so much on the bottom of it. Now, I have some recipes that use a food processor. And I have some recipes that just, I melt the chocolate and the butter and the cream and whatever other deliciousness I'm putting in it in the microwave. So I have like 3 ways that I make my truffles. I am really excited to announce that I am now offering 3 sizes of boxes that you can order your truffles in. The standard dozen. Who doesn't want a dozen? You might as well. But let's say you want to give some to somebody and you have to buy a dozen, and then you have to find a box, and you have to, no. So I now have boxes of 6 truffles and boxes of 4 truffles. So you still order a dozen, but you get 2 boxes of 6 or 3 boxes of 4. And then they're all ready if you want to give them for gifts or just to treat somebody special with just a few truffles. And can you choose your truffles? Yes, you can. I have about 15, 16 different truffle flavors, and you can mix and match and choose whatever you like. So that's truffle making in just a few seconds. It's really easy.
That was fantastic, Diane. I can't wait to order my box of 12 and give it to different people. That's just a perfect gift. So we are so happy to have you on our show, Food Coma, Conversations Over Meals in America. You have been a fantastic guest. And like I said, we are going to have your information in the show so everybody can go ahead and pick up their order. So thanks again for joining Food Coma, Conversations Over Meals in America. I'm your host, Cynthia McAllister. See you next time.
One thing that stands out, okay, and most people shy away from saying this. If you won't take the risk of making a mistake, then you are frozen where you are. You've heard it, no risk, no return. I'm not thinking of it that way, but you have to be continuously willing to do something, and if it doesn't work, you go back and do something else. So the avoidance of risk is not a way to build a successful business. Should I hire my first employee? Well, if you don't hire your first employee, you're going to be stuck doing what you're doing today over and over and over again. Should I invest in a new operating tool, computer-enabled operating tool? Well, if you don't, you're stuck. So you may make mistakes, but you're making mistakes on the pathway to making success. And there's no successful business anywhere that doesn't have a trail of mistakes in its past.
Do the work. Don't take shortcuts. Don't, it's, the popular thing right now is get these results in 2 weeks, get these results in 30 days, get those results in 24 hours. It's like, bro, that sounds good, but I can tell you from experience, from the guess and check of it all, that a quick, anything that is easy is not good. And if it, and if it's just like easily acquired, it's not going to be as good. So just put in the work. Don't be afraid to work. Work is not going to kill you. In fact, it's going to build that character. And once you've gone through what you need to go through, you'll understand all the facets of your business. So don't outsource any of the work that you could do, because it's easier to do it, yes, but having the lack of understanding because you've given, taken the shortcut or given, outsource the work to someone else is going to affect you as the owner in the long run. So that's pretty much my only advice. You have to do the work. There's just no way around that. If you want to be successful, you have to do the work. Get up in the morning, grind, do it every single day. Don't miss any days. And along the way, treat people with integrity, because you just never really know who's going to come back to be the biggest asset to your business.
I would say, don't be afraid. I will also say, stop asking yourself, when is the right time to start my business? The time is now. There's never the perfect time. And I think the longer we keep saying, or anyone keeps saying, I'm waiting for the right time, there would never be a right time, because life happens, situations happen, money happens, anything will happen. If you're called and you feel led to start your business, go ahead and do it. Realize there's some ups and downs, but keep your head up and be passionate about what you do. Don't do it for the money, do it for the passion, and then the money with the profits will follow the passion.
Nothing happens overnight. I had to learn that for myself. It takes, really in any industry, it takes a few years. And I will say that it really, it did not happen overnight for Land Film and TV. When I first started the second time, I was working a 9:30 to 5:30 job. So I really didn't have time to put the word out there like I do now. But now that I have the time, I'm able to post and connect with people, be it virtually, be it in person. So it does not happen overnight. And I will say prayer and faith always helps with business, especially if you're a believer. And I will say also network. Network is one of the biggest things. I've met a lot of people in the entertainment industry that say they don't like to network, but they network because you never know who you'll meet, and you never know how those people can help you. So that is my pieces of advice.